So let's get started. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I'm Alec Wilson, and I'm an ISV Partnership Development Manager from Microsoft. And I'm just super excited today to be kind of collaborating with our friends at WeTransact to put on this session. Today, we'll be exploring how the Microsoft Cloud Marketplace can help you build a really strong indirect sales channel through Microsoft Services partner ecosystem of over 90,000 plus kind of cloud solution providers. We've lined up a really fantastic lineup of speakers to feature in today's session. And these include my colleague, Darren Sharp, who's the commercial marketplace lead at Microsoft, Juan, who's the chief revenue officer at WeTransact, Yuval, who's the VP of global partnerships and alliances at TB Cloud, Andrew King, who's the senior director of global ISV strategy at Pax8, and last but not least is Simon Berner, who is the managing director at Squadra. A fairly long list of speakers, as you can probably tell. So in today's session, we'll be touching on just a few main key points. One is around just understanding the Microsoft Marketplace as a really modern platform for partnering. And without stealing Darren's thunder, we'll touch on kind of the kind of preview launch of multi-party private offers as well, which is super exciting. We'll also be exploring Microsoft Resellers and the benefits of indirect selling for you as an ISV. And then finally, identifying just common mistakes, common kind of partnership best practice to really support you make the most of this session. Before we get started, just a quick housekeeping rule. There is a Q&A button in the top right of your screen somewhere, so please ask questions as we go through, and then we'll get to them as we can, and we will be monitoring the Q&A throughout the session. So with that, we'll get started, and I'll be passing over to Darren Sharp to kick us off. Thank you.
Thanks, Alaric, much appreciated. Yeah, really exciting to be here with the WeTransact team and some great speakers. So appreciate your time today, folks. So as Alaric said, I've got the great job of sort of setting the scene and giving us some insights as to the dynamics of how cloud marketplaces and partners are coming together. And you're going to hear lots more from the broader team today as we get to a bit of a deeper dive. But let me just set the scene and kind of give us a bit of a feel as to how this is super important as we look to help all our customers on this application modernization journey. And essentially, it's this here. If you were to Google enterprise buying strategy, don't know why you do that, but this is the standard complex process that will appear as an infographic on your screen. And it is traditionally, and to a certain extent still is, a very complicated process for organizations to acquire the technology they need. However, there's a number of dynamics in play that are really interesting if you if you study the procurement press and talk to your customers about how they're buying applications. And particularly it's a generational shift. If we look at kind of what enterprise buying looks like over the next 2 years, something like 60% of those buying decisions will be made by a millennial buyer. Now, I'm still not sure what a millennial is. It's definitely not me. It might well be Jan and Alaric. But those digital buyers, well, they're used to a digital buying experience. They're used to going through that discovery process using digital tools. They're probably going through 15 to 20 points of information gathering before they speak to a salesperson. Now, this means that as our ISV partners and as you as a partner community, as we all come together and start to try and address this new customer, we've got to find different ways to go to market. So what cloud marketplaces and partners together should be doing is bringing together this procurement process and getting us all aligned on the left-hand side of this diagram, very much earlier on in the customer problem identification stage. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means. Another dynamic at play is the need to get value earlier on in the sales cycle of the applications that we're buying. It's very much buy with elasticity, but also with something that recognizes who I am. Customers tell us all the time now, they want to buy a 95% best fit solution and customize around the edge. And what that means is they're searching, selecting, discovering applications on cloud platforms, and they're looking at new modern ways to contract that and then manage that adoption process. And that's absolutely an opportunity as we as an ISV and partner community start to develop our applications to support that adoption journey and deliver that value state earlier on. Now, we'll talk about this a bit more in a second, but we're showing some statistics on the right hand side here from some of the other analysts out there that talk about why the cloud marketplace users across the world are using these platforms. And you can see the stats top right there. Typically, draw down on these cloud commits in a Microsoft world, that's Mac, is super important. But actually, it's the value in these platforms around accelerating time to value, around consolidating vendor management, all these process benefits that are now much more important as customers look to modernize their application portfolio. And as we look to these digital platforms, not on a per transaction basis, but really to holistically help our customers go through this application modernization, go through software lifecycle management, what cloud marketplaces should be doing really, and partners together, is helping get this balance of agility and innovation versus governance and guardrails. And this is really important. If we think about the volume of SaaS that's in our customers today, an analyst called Xylo called out that the average enterprise customer has around 600 SaaS applications, and that was 4 years ago. Actually, 70% of that is bought in a line of business. Now, in days of old, that might be called shadow IT. Now that's just our businesses, our customers going out there and standing up the applications that they need to run that business. However, it's leading to this notion of SaaS sprawl, SaaS product being wasted, as maybe a line of business buyer buys a particular application, over licenses it, and someone else in the business doing the same thing with an adjacent product. So we're able to use the tools within the cloud marketplace platform, like private marketplace, to put this governance and workflow around who's buying what within an organization. And that's that balance of that agility piece, still allowing the discovery process, but actually when it comes to enterprise contracting, we can use these platforms to manage that world, and that's private offers. So look, here's bringing this value together of the Microsoft commercial marketplace. You can decrement a Mac by 100% of the software spend value through using Azure Marketplace and the private offer process, or indeed, buying publicly. But it's the private offer process that delivers custom terms, custom price, and a custom EULA. And going back to those stats I showed just a moment ago, it's what's around the edge of column 2 here that's just as important now for customers. They're really struggling with the volume of product that's out there. They're struggling with how to get this adopted within organizations. They're struggling to get better value from that world. So it's the holistic approach to delivering a cloud marketplace strategy that can really start to add some value here. And look, it's don't just take Microsoft's word for it, but we have a total economic impact survey from Forrester, which is really that time and motion study that absolutely underpins what we're talking about here. So I encourage you to go and have a look at that. We'll make sure that's posted as an asset at the end of the session today. But look, here's the most important thing that I'm really excited to talk about, that if you look at any of the cloud marketplace and partner thought leaders out there, obviously We Transact, fantastic organization that's leading the charge here, but there's many other analysts that also have some opinion on what this world means. And this is the key statement, that go to market for SaaS is becoming ecosystem driven rather than sales driven. And what do I mean by that? Well, in days of old, a customer would say we want one throat to choke, and I'm pleased to say they don't say that anymore. They want an ecosystem of both product that interoperates and has some adjacencies, and a services partner ecosystem that can help manage that world. This is modern reselling. This is a platform for modern partnering. It's how to help your customers deliver more elastically, but with very custom terms, custom price, and a custom EULA. And this is how we do it. We're well aware that ISVs can deliver a direct private offer through the Azure Marketplace portal, but actually, 2 of our private offer processes are absolutely about partners, and you're going to hear from the team today both about the CSP private offer process and about multi-party private offer, which allows that commercial contracting construct to include a partner. And this is what we just launched in the UK and Canada, shortly to be rest of the EU to be announced later on this year. But we're in preview state in the UK and Canada now for this multi-party private offer approach. And again, this retires that Mac by 100% of the software spend value. And it looks like this, potentially a really complicated slide. But let me simplify this. It's an ISV with a transactable solution, has to be automated. Again, some huge value from the WeTransact team in helping get, you as an ISV community, if you are an ISV, transactable really quickly. But it's off the back of a transactable automated solution. You're able to authorize a downstream selling partner who can then push that offer electronically into a customer, and Microsoft bills in this case. And we'll talk about the CSP mechanism, or my colleagues will, a little bit later on here. But think about how this works just notionally for a second. An ISV with a transactable solution can deliver that custom price via the trusted advisor partner. And that could all happen in a matter of minutes once we get good at this. So it's a super slick process. So look, lots of value for you if you're a services partner here. This is about that modern reselling approach. It's about delivering elastically for your customers, allowing them to get an understanding of higher value in the product up front and then manage this adoption cycle. And it's about getting that mix of those heritage vendors, let's say the 15 to 20 enterprise critical applications that run your customer's business today, and getting the mix right with those fantastic digital natives that are also delivering cloud marketplace and partner first. And there's lots of partners that are already thought leading in this space. There's lots of power in this platform that means they're already taking this to heart and actually managing this world of ISVs with frameworks and helping them get engaged and manage these adjacencies. So this really is this modern reselling approach. It's not just about delivering a single piece of software. It's that holistic process of management. And just to recap, just to be super clear, some of the assets that we'll share later on, we've helped build a marketplace practice builder for both our ISV partners and our channel partners that helps them understand the business process change they've got to go through to do this. Because this is about operational efficiency for the partner. It's about financial efficiency for you, whether you're an ISV or a services partner. And it's about driving that better outcome as we look to this holistic management. So look forward to connecting with you more on how we can deliver with services partners and the fantastic services that WeTransact are standing up. And now I'm going to leave it there. I'll pass that over to PAX 8 team.
Andrew,
We don't
you're
hear
on
you,
mute.
Andrew. Yeah, you're on mute.
There we go. First schoolboy error. Yes, hello everybody. So I'm Andrew King. I'm responsible for our global ISV sales strategy at PAX 8. So PAX 8 is an indirect Microsoft CSP channel partner. So we sell to channel partners who then sell to end customers. I'll answer these questions a bit later, but this is a slide about PAX 8. We're a modern cloud commerce marketplace, in-house developed. We're actually about to launch a new version of our marketplace next week at a big event in Denver to about 1,600 of our channel partners. So our channel partners are mainly managed solution providers. So what they do is they aggregate solutions, both IT solutions and line of business solutions, and then recommend them to their end customers, their SMB end customers, and then they provide support services, they manage the infrastructure and so on for their customers. So think of them as a modern type of reseller. PAX 8 is a global organization. We have offices everywhere except South America and Africa. Those will come in the future. And our marketplace bills in multi-currencies, just like the Microsoft Marketplace. And we are, rapidly expanding. So just a bit of information about, who we serve. So we currently have about 335,000 managed service providers that we serve globally. We're adding about 500 a month to that. So that number is getting bigger all the time. So they serve about 400,000 SMB end customers. And that's, as I say, globally. So those customers can be, micro small businesses up to, kind of medium size enterprises. They cover multiple industries. We've just analysed a lot of data about our end customers to find out, what most of those industries are. Those, and again, obviously, as we add more partners, we're adding tens of thousands of more customers every month. So that's what we are. So effectively, what an indirect Microsoft CSP provider like us do, they enable you to scale your go-to-market to hundreds of thousands of SMB, customers. And so you may do direct sales if you're in the enterprise world, but to the SMB world, Pax8, our global marketplace, enables you to scale. So to answer the questions on that first slide, so we're working with Microsoft and WeTransact to get the ISVs that are working with us onto the Microsoft Marketplace. By going onto the Microsoft Marketplace, you're actually making your product more ready for the Pax8 marketplace. So going through that process is effectively making your product marketplace ready. What we also provide to ISVs is it's not just being marketplace ready, it's also being ready for scale. And so we help our ISVs ensure that their product is well architected, secure, and is actually scalable for when your solution then has thousands of end customers. So we can help you with what we call a well architected review, as can companies like 2B Cloud. So we are, as you see from this slide, we only have about 100 ISVs on our marketplace currently. However, we are working on scaling that so that we can effectively get hundreds and hundreds of ISVs onto the Pax8 marketplace. And so if you want to join us on this journey as we kind of scale our own marketplace, then, as I say, get your product marketplace ready by getting on the Microsoft Marketplace, and then get your product architecturally ready for scale. And then you'll be in a good position to join us on this journey as Pax8 kind of expands its marketplace to hundreds and hundreds of more ISVs such as yourself. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to hand you over to Yuval from 2B Cloud.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Juan, can we move one slide, please?
Yes, let me take control.
All right.
Is it changing?
Yes, it's changing. We can move even one more slide.
Yes.
So yeah, hi everybody. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present today. My name is Yuval Shane. I'm the VP Global Partnership and Alliances at 2B Cloud. I joined 2B Cloud 3 years ago. Before that, I was 16 years at Microsoft. And we are in 2B Cloud. We are a global Azure expert MSP. We are a born to the cloud partner with a mission to empower startups and ISVs in their cloud journey. So right from the beginning, we were focused on startups and ISVs who are looking to do the journey on Azure. And up until today, we have more than 400 Azure customers, from early stage to unicorn. So our smallest customers consuming $500 per month. Our biggest one just signed an agreement of $100 million. So we have like early stage, but like also big unicorns, and some of the name like Wix, like Gong, like Nuvei. We are involving in many Azure OpenAI project, which is very popular right now. But we're doing all kind of different Azure project like migration, modernization, and managed service. We earned the Microsoft Azure Expert MSP badge, which is the highest badge for Azure partner. And we also have 3 advanced specialization and 4 Azure designation. I'm not just saying that to show off, but this badge are giving us a lot of financial tools that with this financial tool, we can help you. So we can bring funding for migration, for modernization, for OpenAI innovation workshop, for security assessment, and so on and so forth. We have all the tools from Microsoft to bring the funding and help you with the project without the needs of you paying us. We're just using the funding of Microsoft. And today we are spread globally. We have a few sites in the US, a site in Middle East and Africa, and a site in Berlin that serve the Europe region. We can move one slide. Thanks. So how do we see ourselves coming together? As I said, we empower digital native in their Azure cloud journey, and the Azure cloud journey is actually divided into two. There is the technical journey. I want to migrate from AWS GCP on-prem to Azure or set up a new environment on Azure. Right now, we see also a lot of customers that moving from OpenAI to Azure OpenAI. And also, I need a lot of help with cloud modernization because I have an environment, but I want to modernize this environment. I need a lot of optimization and cost management. I need a security assessment. I need a 24/7 support, and so on and so forth. So there is the technical journey, okay? But during the years, we saw that many of these customers that coming to Azure also looking for the go-to-market journey because they said, hey, we are on Azure, and Microsoft is very strong on the enterprise, commercial, and public sector and commercial business. So we would like to do the business with Microsoft. How do we do that? And that's exactly where To-Be-Cloud and WeTransact are coming together. That's where they are completing To-Be-Cloud by helping these ISVs to onboard to the Azure Marketplace and to do the go-to-market with Microsoft. And we see a lot of retailers or healthcare startups or financial startups that are looking to do this co-sell with Microsoft, either with the field or either with the channel. And this is really helpful. And I can tell you from my experience, we also develop a special tool called SafePro that is a special cost optimization tool for Azure based on our experience. And this tool can save like 30% of the cost of the customer. And we had some experience on how to put it on the marketplace. But when we started to work with WeTransact, we received their help to onboard this tool into the marketplace. It took us 3 days from zero to hero, okay, to get this solution on the marketplace and become an IP co-sell ready and MAC eligible. This was like really fast, okay? If I compare it to a customer, an ISV that's starting with the marketplace and needs to do it by his own, it will take 3 months to 6 months in average. And for us, it took 3 days. The second thing, they really help us with the payment platform because the solution that we had required a very flexible payment model, okay? It was based on metering, percentage of the consumption, plus managed service. And it's not very easy to do that with the Microsoft Vanilla platform. So all this flexibility and multi-currency and like, you know, offering that include professional service and metering together, we could achieve that with the WeTransact. And we also got exposed to a go-to-market platform that really helped us to go to customers and other channels. So now when customer is coming to To-Be-Cloud, he can get the migration, the modernization, the cost optimization, the 24/7 support, the assessment, all this managed service and technical service, plus the go-to-market with the WeTransact. So that was our story. I will just say for the end that we work with customers in different model. It could be CSP, it can be MCA, it could be EA or MAC. It doesn't matter. But we have a very interesting model that in many cases we bring the fund from Microsoft, and there is no commit and no extra charge for our services. So I would love to, get together after that and help you to understand more about how we can help you to do this journey on Azure. And thank you very much. Who's next, Juan?
It will be Simon.
Yes, it's me.
Great.
Thank you, Yuval. So nice to meet you, everyone. So I'm Simon Bernard, Managing Director of Squadra. I'm based in France, but with Transact, we work with an European partnership about to offer the possibility to ISV community to develop a P2P2P approach. Why a third P? It's to enhance the potential with Azure, but not only Azure, with the partnership with Microsoft. It's very important to see this approach because we know that it's not your major work to create partnership and to develop an Azure solution. You have to be taking a hand, and we have created comprehensive approach to help you to focus on your business to deliver unmatched value to your customers, but also we create a customer journey because we help ISV to finish the build on Azure. We help them to connect with Microsoft to develop the go-to-market approach because we know that it's impossible to go on Azure Marketplace alone. It's very hard to understand all the partner agreement you can have with Microsoft. So we help them to understand, we help you to understand how it works and how you can sell better through WeTransact on the Azure Marketplace. And to finish the journey, we know that is very important to maintain, to make evolve, and to run your Azure environment. So we propose a global approach to end-to-end approach to focus on your value and not on the technical issue. Right now, we help a lot of customers on Partner Center. We help them to well maintain their previous offer on the marketplace, and we push to use WeTransact to be sure that they can really quickly go to publish a new offer, etc., etc. And that's it. We are a partner for France, and major of our customers are ESV, more than 50% of customers. So we have developed a vertical approach for them, and we know that it's very important to well understand how you can build a P2P approach and not just focus on technical requirements. So it's why we work with WeTransact, because we understand perfectly how we can help ISV to go through Marketplace to sell. And to my part, it's pretty clear. So let's continue, Juan. It's your moment, I think.
Thank you, Simon. Can you hear me, right?
Yes, we are right.
Awesome. So thanks for being here today, everybody. As before, like Alaric introduced me, I'm Juan José Castiblanques. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer at WeTransact. I'm very happy to see many brilliant minds here today to teach in their communities and also lead by example. Thanks to Darren, Andrew, Yuval, Simon, and a special thanks to Alaric that we brainstormed this webinar together like a few months ago, and we brought it to life to reality. At the end of the day, what we wanted to bring here was like the partnerships that we have today. And I wanted to bring my partners, the partners that I've been partnering, like with Andrew, with Simon, with Yuval, to show you as example how easy can be also partnering in the Microsoft Marketplace ecosystem. Because Cloud Marketplace not only means direct selling to customers, but also means an opportunity to build reseller channels programmatically and exponentially. And this is what my part will be all about on the session that we are going to be doing today. So in this agenda, like today, we will talk about ecosystem discovery, some tips to craft a compelling offer that brings appetite for partners to resell and to partner with you, and some ideas on how to drive execution efficiently. We've seen the struggle of many companies. But first, before going into the agenda, into the session and dive into it, there is one takeaway I want everybody to remember, which is Microsoft Marketplace is all about partnerships. And from the three ways of selling through the marketplace, partner to partner is the biggest competitive advantage Microsoft has over AWS and Google in the marketplace landscape. It's an opportunity for all the ISVs looking to build the reseller channel. So what are the real benefits of partner to partner on the Microsoft Marketplace? So in first, access to a vast network in minutes, save on customer acquisition cost, connect with all segments, leveraging existing trust customers already have in their technology providers and solution resellers. And all of that while reducing the risk as you operate under Microsoft umbrella, getting paid by Microsoft, comply with local regulations, and forgetting about exchange rates wherever your partners are and in which currency they operate. So as Darren said, it's a platform for modern partnering. So we hear a lot these days about CSP, 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 or P2P, P2P, P2P. So first of all, CSP means cloud solution providers and are Microsoft resellers. There are 90,000. The same way they resell Microsoft products, they can also resell your product since you are listed on the marketplace. Partnering with CSP is commonly called P2P or partner to partner. New to the marketplace, but relevant to scale. Now we understand what CSP is, that are the resellers we can work with on the marketplace. We have to understand how they operate. You have a direct channel of resellers selling direct to customers like to be cloud. And you have an indirect channel with a distributor indirect provider like Packsate on the top, and an indirect reseller like Squadra below. And this is like the two ways the partner landscape operates today. The landscape is very wide, but can be narrowed in 4 types. The value-added resellers, the system integrators, managed service provider, and the indirect provider, also known as distributors. The value-added resellers resell products with additional services. System integrators are consulting firms. Typically, they work project-based. Managed service provider offer managed services, typically charging on a subscription-based model. This here is where 2B Cloud and Squadra are. And solution aggregators, also known as distributors, operate at the scale and introduce you to their community of resellers or MSPs. And this is where you find Packsate. As you can see, the incentives also varies. So I think it's important that you come back here on the recording that will be shared to understand a bit of the model. Let me also give you an example of how each of them operate in this slide. So an end customer wants to modernize their application. You will have an SI saying something like, I have 5 years expert in application modernization that can manage this project in your team. Then you will have an MSP that says, we can provide a recommendation and optimize the right architecture for your application. A value-added reseller will say, I can provide you the best price for Azure virtual machine for your application. And a solution aggregator indirect provider will say, you can contact my top 5 partners that are specialized and can help you to manage this project. But unfortunately, software creators, ISVs, are often unsuccessful when doing partnership with resellers. The market they choose is not ready, or didn't actually check which type of customers the partner reseller is selling to. Lack of profitability. Your offer is too little, which brings 0 value to the partner reseller or their sales force. And there is a lack of commitment. Nobody is following up as it should be, and or lacks the tools to do it efficiently. At WeTransact, we are very much about velocity. And our approach is about building resellers networks seamlessly. For that, we bring all the partners in one single view in our platform. We help our customers to match with the right reseller. and also to get our resellers with the right customers they are looking for to enrich their community. And if we are missing one of the partners, we go and we recruit them for you and for our community. Now, you know who you want to resell your solution based on the partner type or incentive model. Focus on crafting a good reseller offer as a first step. Target introductions via email with a compelling value-selling communication, or go to or WeTransact existing connections. Then focus more on the channels and onboard them on a rhythm of the business that brings mutual value. Good. So let's have a look at this example. This is the WeTransact reseller model. It's an example, but it takes part of the reality today. The three pillars of a compelling offer are the margin, the back margin, and the services plus partner revenue allocation. The margin is the direct way of compensating CSP resellers. So for example, here you can see when we are providing a 20% margin when a partner in the Microsoft landscape sends a lead to us. We also, you can see here, when they close the deal, we reward that and we increase the margin to 30%. The back margin is a way to reward reseller retrospectively if quota is reached. So imagine that you want them to reach 10 sales a quarter or 100 sales per year. It will be a way to provide an acceleration in revenue to them. And the service refers to an extra compensation they can get from delivering services you used to do. For example, can they onboard the customer instead of you? Can they offer partner support frontline and you give them more incentives for that? Assuming the relationship has been built, your compelling offer now has been accepted. The margins has been established. You move into driving execution. What we always suggest here is that you start step by step and don't try to over-process or over-engineer the process. So offer a workshop to set common goals. Add that to the agenda. Make it clear that meeting has to end with that. Share your marketing collaterals and make them easy to check. They are used to seeing a lot of this. Train the workforce if needed, both platform and sales-wise. Always make it simpler and easier for your partners. We are fan here at WeTransact of a crawl and walk approach. And as much as you can, focus on getting the first quick wins for them. If you invest in your partners, they will see you care about their business, and they will care about you and position you. Okay, so now you have identified your ideal partner. You crafted your offer. You draw your first action plan, and everything with or without WeTransact support. You are also listed on the Microsoft Marketplace, and you have released already your CSP private offer. But how does execution of your reseller network seamlessly, as we say in the title, look like in practice? For customers, use Reveal or partner opportunity matching platform that everybody gets included with WeTransact. So here, for example, you can see WeTransact is matched with 2B Cloud, my reseller, one of the resellers that operates and helps us to go on market outreach. We can see here in this demo example that 2B Cloud has 12 companies that are my prospects, and they have been their customers for quite some years. I profiled company 1, company 2, 6, and 10, because they are also very old customers of them. Then I called Yuval from 2B Cloud and said, hey, I see 4 customers you have who could buy my solution now. What about giving you 20% of the deal if you introduce them to me? Or what about giving 30% if you go by yourself? What about making this deal recurring year over year, so you get rewarded and recognized for the annual recurring revenue? Did I talk about my product yet? No. I talk about business first. Product learning will follow after. And that's why we have these 2 types of margins when they send a lead or they send a deal. So we can go in the first ones on a lead fashion, and we help them to do co-selling together. So, and remember, Microsoft Marketplace is all about partnerships, and we recommend you to get them started today. And here, my part. Thank you.
Juan, thank you very much. So we do have a couple of questions to kind of close the session, if that's okay. And the first one is probably directed at Andrew, in terms of kind of what's the upfront cost for an ISV to join the Pax8 marketplace, if there is a cost?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So I think when I was talking through the slides, I said that over the next year, we're working to make our marketplace much more scalable in terms of the number of ISVs that we have on it. We currently have a backlog of about 350 ISVs that would love to work with us. So we're just figuring out how we can create a more scalable program. At the moment, we do charge to get onto the Pax8 marketplace, although we're not accepting any new ISVs at the moment. We'll be opening the doors again in October. And in October, we'll then, figure out what the model is going to look like, because obviously there's a different model for scale to a model whereby our salespeople are actively engaged in helping you push your product. So I don't have an answer for you at the moment, because the model that we were using, we've actually paused, and we'll have a brand new model in October. So as I said in my talk, make sure your product is ready for a marketplace, and obviously getting on the Microsoft Marketplace is the best way to do that. And we Transact can help you with that. And then secondly, make sure that it's architecturally ready for scale. So if you're going to sell your product to thousands of SMB end customers globally, your product's got to be scalable, it's got to be secure, and all those, it's got to be optimized for its Azure consumption. So if you could, work on that between now and October, and then we'll have a better answer for you in October.
Perfect. Thanks, Andrew. So yes, I think some good tips. And on the costing, it sounds like stay tuned and wait for October time. Last thing, just to say, if anyone else in the chat does have any questions, please do use the Q&A button quickly. Otherwise, we will be wrapping up fairly soon. One of the questions, Juan, this is directed at you, is this ISV is already listed on the marketplace. They're looking to add a few more modules to the marketplace and in terms of expanding their offering set. Kind of blunt question is, what would the cost of being supported by WeTransact be? And anything you can share along that, that'd be good.
Yes. Thank you, Alaric. So I see Rana here that asked the question. So price is fixed flat rate a year. You have them in the website, so it's public. You can list unlimited listings or modules. So there is no price per listing, or there is no commission per a transaction or stuff like that. Also, answering the question of Vincent or Vincent, on I don't understand the pricing commission model presented by WeTransact. So as reply to Rana, our pricing is a flat rate. So our platform to connect to the marketplace list and operate using our tools is a flat rate. And the commission model you might refer, it was an example to show how you can craft a compelling offer to resellers when you want to find partners that resell your solution. So here you have the margin, which is the instant revenue that you will provision to your reseller, for example. And here I gave two examples, the 20 and the 30%. There are many examples. There are companies that give 10 because it's more focused on system integrators, that they work more on a project base that has a big volume. And then, or you have, for example, others that are managed service providers, that they own a big amount of customers, and if you want to access their portfolio of customers, you might need to give 20 to 30 or to 40%. At the end, it depends on you and how you want to compete with your competitors, because probably they will be approached by your competitors as well. So at the end, you need to position the value of your solution there either economically or through like the product or the technology enhancement you do when you are approaching them. I don't know if I answered that.
Yes, you did. Perfect. And I guess if they want any more information, Juan, how do they get in contact with you, just in case they want to have a conversation?
Yes, they can email us here at contact@Transact. They can tell us that they come from the webinar, and we will take them. Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds good. One more question that's just come in, and I'm trying to interpret this question correctly, is if your solution is already hosted on Microsoft Azure, can you join the marketplace? The answer to that is absolutely. You need to be hosted on Azure to be listed on the Azure Marketplace. That's probably the only way to answer that. So yes, is the answer. Any other questions? Last opportunity, please do use the Q&A button. Just whilst we're waiting for any last questions to come in, the slides will be distributed, I believe. If you want to get in contact with any of us as well, please do feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. I'm fairly active on LinkedIn. I'm sure all the others are on the call as well. But I believe that's kind of it. So we'll wrap up there. No more questions. As I said, please do get in contact if you have any other questions following the session. But I appreciate you all joining. Again, massive thank you again to all the speakers that joined us today. Andrew, Yuval, Simon, thank you for you. Darren from Microsoft, appreciated. And then again, massive thanks to WeTransact for kind of collaborating on the session. So thanks for joining. Appreciate you joining, and have a great day. Speak soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.